Howdy folks. So just setting up for the tourney here. So this is the buff booster. So you want to put as many heroes that have buffs on them in the lineup as you can. So I don't have a lot of variety in this account though, so I'm just going to set a team up. And it's no reds, so you're going to want a green tank. So I've got a couple of Victorias in there. Now, he gives buffs, Tannenbaum, and Dougal gives armor. So I'd be taking advantage of a couple of buffs that way. Now, I actually don't think I'm going to use her, and I'm going to put the third Victoria in there. Alright, so we got the Bennett on the tank, so that will burn. Everybody she hits 2. Alright, good enough. And then let's put the armor one on you. And that's a health one, a field aid basically. I guess it gives a bit of a boost there. So I'm going to go with this team. Thankfully I leveled 3 Victorias in this account. Alright, so I'm going to leave it with these guys here, and then I'll talk a little bit more about what you want to see with buff booster teams in my main account. So I'll be right back with that, because that just have a lot more hero variety, so we can go over some specials there. Alright, so let's go over some options for this one. So you want ones that are going to boost your team with some sort of buff defensively. So who has these with 3 stars? Well, not a lot, to be honest. So this guy, the random mindless attack, that's really cool actually. It's a cool special. I really like that. I always liked Merlin in Empires and Puzzles for that attack. So no buff booster there. Latte, now she does the minus 80 defense for 3 turns, which is awesome, but no buff for the team. Gem, 140 damage to all allies, and then this chance to do the support attack. Support attack isn't meh. I mean, it's there. But it's not really what you're looking for either. It's, at least I wouldn't. Some people probably would use her for that, but now we all know Victoria just hits like a bloody truck. So you want her in there, even though she doesn't do the buff. Rover, the 47% chance to do a support attack against an enemy that uses an offensive special skill for 5 turns. That's these two are kind of a neat combination, Gem and Rover. I won't use them in this one because it's no red, but they're actually a neat combination because the support attacks are always going off, depending on when somebody hits with Rover, and then anytime a special is used on your side with Gem. So it's they actually do have neat specials. Alright, poison. The target and nearby enemies receive 162 damage over 3 turns, so it's not a buff, but it is damaging to the enemy. Thinking I might kind of use her since it's no red, and I only have 2 Victorias. So this guy, 47% support attack again. So there's that. He's slow though. And 150 damage to all enemies. A lot of these are good for charge attack attorneys though. Including, I think this guy would be good in a charge attack attorney as well. allies get 82 defense for 3 turns. So there's a buff for everybody that would you'd be able to take advantage of the charge attack, the 20% up. Yeah, see, he does. I think he's okay for a charge attack tourney, but I've rarely used him besides that. Rory's just wimpy overall. I don't know what it is about his hit, but it's shitty. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah. I mean, with a speed weapon, 50's a break point. He would charge a little bit faster, but that still doesn't even make him worth using. There's better blues. I like using Rover and Gem, for instance, in that combination in a blue stack. I hardly ever touch Rory. Alright, the caster regenerates 240 HP over 3 turns, so it's a buff to him, but not for the team. And then we got Rover with the armor and then a counter attack. So there's more buffs. I could probably go a mono green team, actually, since it's no red. Alright, so silenced. I mean, that's not a buff, but he's an awfully handy hero. Obviously, I leveled 4 of them. This guy, he would be best in a charge attack attorney. So what you're really looking for is something that they give, so either defense is up or a charge speed up or something. And she does here as well. So 32% critical chance for 3 turns, so that's a buff up. So she'd be good in these charge attack tourneys. Pretty standard here, not really a buff up. Just burns the target though. So this guy gives some buffs up. Clear status ailment. Or allies share receive damage with each other for 3 turns. And that does not apply to status effects already on there. Adds 140 armor for all allies, but he does clear status ailments, so that's good. Poison, so not really a buff. This guy, he actually does give buffs. Now I have heard of some people that are using him, and they're using him for their all zombie teams, which is cool. And actually, I have seen him in some of the tournaments. So it's good people have found a use for him. I still think he's useless no matter what, but that's just me. I don't know. I could put him in here, though, just because it is a buff up, and that in the 20% stacks for every buff that's on your team. So he only covers caster and nearby allies. I just wish they would buff him and give him the same as Jacob, where it covers the whole team. And he'd be a hell of a lot more useful. Alright, so she doesn't give a buff up, but she does do poison. She's quick hitting. Dougal, my friend, adds the armor. He just hits 3. And he just hits as well. Just snipers, basically. He doesn't do a buff up, does he? The caster gets 32 charge generation for 3 turns. Okay, so he does a buff up to himself. So that's another one. If it was yellow that wasn't allowed an attorney, I think he'd be a pretty good tank. Now she does a buff up with the all allies getting 82 attack for 3 turns. So that's good. Jonah does the armor. Caster nearby allies gets 32% critical chance for 3 turns, so she's another one that does a buff up. Ingrid, nah, it's It's damage to the enemies, and then the minus 32% accuracy, so the blinding of the enemies as well. So not a buff for the team. 375 damage to the target, and then the charge of the target. So he's a good sniper. He's a good one for charge speed tourneys too. 202 to the target, and nearby allies get 32% critical chance. So he'd be one that wouldn't be too bad for this one. She just does straight up healing. We already know Vittoria doesn't give a buff. Brad. Okay, so blinding to the enemies. So not a buff for the team. Vivara's armor and clear status ailments. Clear status ailments, and so she's just a sniper. She does armor per turn, so that's good. Again, I think she's best in charge attack tourneys, though, being the slow hero, and all of a sudden she's hitting a hell of a lot faster. Oh yeah, she can be brutal. Okay, so I have a few others that I haven't leveled yet. All enemies get minus 20% accuracy for 3 turns. This guy looks really good, except he's right on the breakpoint of 50. What is it? 57 to get him fast. I don't think we'll ever see a 3-star weapon to make him fast for tournaments and stuff like this. 3-star 7 speed point weapon, I should say. So the SWAT only has 3 speed points on it, so it won't help him. But still, this is a very unique special. So I do want to work on him and get him leveled up. He's hitting everybody. Everybody's getting minus 20% accuracy, so blinded for 3 turns. And removes buffs from all enemies. We don't have enough buff dispellers, so this is awesome. I think he would be a good one to pair up with Tannenbaum. So I really do like that special. I think he's worth it for a 3-star, or she, or whatever. That hero is worth leveling. Alright. She's got a unique special too. So she's hitting everybody. The caster gains 21% of the damage Delta's armor. So that's a nice little buff for herself. So she would be handy for a buff booster tourney. All enemies get minus 50% armor received. So that's good. If you're against a team that's got a bunch of armor dealers on it, like Jonah, she's gonna steal that armor. So the target gets minus 32 healing received for 4 turns. Yeah, see, and he's fast charging too, but he's just a sniper when you got Vittoria, who's just gonna absolutely decimate opponents compared to this special on a different green. So I don't know. I will still level him, but I don't really know where he would fit in, to be quite honest. Alright, so that just kind of gives you some ideas of what to look for on the specials for this tourney. So let's go and actually set up my team. Before I do that, I would probably, though, let's just pop into here and do some team setups. So if it was a rainbow one, I still tend to favor Vittoria as the tank. And the warhead, oh yeah, I'm thinking it's an event. You can use different weapons in the tournaments. I was thinking event because you can only use the 3-star weapons, but that CMYK hero could actually be made faster with the Triss. Huh. Boy, that makes the special even better. Yeah, I definitely gotta level that hero. Play around with that one a little bit. I think he's got I'm saying he, she, whatever, has a really good special. Alright, so if this was a rainbow tourney, I would probably go something like this. So if all colors were allowed. And then I would probably go Tannenbaum does some Get off there. Tannenbomber, where are ya? There we go. And for purple, I wouldn't want a slow purple in the corner. But I would probably be using her anyway because of the critical chance. So something like that. And then you've got the critical chance from Fiona and the buffs from that to give you a little bit extra. And then you get defense down with Latte. So something like that when it's rainbow is best when it's a rainbow tourney and all colors are allowed. So I'd probably go with something like that. All right. Let's go and actually set up my team for this tournament though. So as usual, I'm going to go with greens. What's opposite of the color not allowed. And we're going to go with you and with you. And you got a Dread Derringer on it. So you... Oh yeah, see it is 3 star weapons. I thought so. That's because I was using one of my team slots. Duh. There's my duh moment for the day. Where are the rest of you guys? You guys are way down there. Latte is not allowed. So if I put somebody in the corner, that's different because they would definitely put Latte in there if she was allowed in there. Let's take you out and let's take you out. 2 Fionas. That's awesome. Where's that other chicker? Why can't I find her? There she is. And I go with that. So resistant weapon on her, the 2 Bennetts on Victoria, and then the 2 Dread Derringers. Alright, let's see how that team does. And actually, Fiona's fast, and so she can go in a corner easily. So let's keep my 3 across as usual. And then I just need my other Fiona. Whenever the heck I find her. There she is, way down there. Alright, cool beans. That's what I'm gonna do. That was painful to set up. Wow, what the heck? So just keep that in mind where it says each active buff on a hero boosts their attack by 20% and the effect stacks. So you may as well get as many of the team buffs in there as you can. And I'm simply putting all the Vittorias in because of how much destruction her special does. So, okay, we'll see how we do with these 5. All right, ladies, bring home some bacon. Come on. Take care, guys.